What is up, everybody? Look at that timing. Calculated. Alright, back with America. Back to America. I can speak. Hey, Looking Glass, thank you for the 70 bits. Appreciate it. Alright, yeah, bit late today. This is gonna be a shorter stream, I think. But, you know, we'll get a little bit of America in. Come on. What do I even need from FP now? I guess just like ley line, black keys, Ongra, more copies of everything. Man, we got a whole lot of nothing. That was not great. Yeah, NP levels, we still need those big time. Okay, I think we're about to fight Beowulf. I think you fight him with a chimera or a dragon or something. I think a dragon, yeah, I think it's Beowulf and a dragon, okay. That's kind of funny, a bit backwards. Chat, I know I said I was gonna use story support as much as possible in the beginning, but I don't wanna. It's not about power or class. I don't wanna though. But unfortunately, sometimes in life, you have to do things you don't want. In this case, it's bringing a fucking lizard that won't shut the hell up. Alright. The hard part here is gonna be, I basically have 2 dead weights. And in a fight where they're gonna kill me really rapidly. Can I just use Hercules? Like, shit. Because it's just the dragon's AoE and Beowulf's a berserker, then I have fucking Liz here. God. Alright, we'll see what happens. I don't want to level George some. Hold on. Let me look at my XP. Spring and altar, you go. Fuck that button. Just fuck that button. Why did they... God, it messes everything up. Ugh. least I got good music. Well, I'm not gonna level any berserkers in the immediate future other than Spartacus. Come on, give me a great success. Or super success, doesn't matter. Oh shit. Oh hell no, that's not gonna happen. Any silver cards? Yeah. So how's everybody doing today? Finished Lost Belt 2. Rip Zergard and Bryn, yep. Could've been worse. I don't know how, but it could've been worse. Alright, let's get 100 face up. You surf for the dragon. Yeah, they've been kind of slow with the events. Ugh. Rip Void Dust. I'm trying to remember, what is the Aussie fight in Camelot? Because I know that one gave me more trouble than all the knights did, but a big part of that was because I didn't have the right stuff levels. I think it's like Aussie, and then like the Sphinxes, which I think the Sphinxes are maybe casters or something. I know, and Nitocris, who is a caster, but the Sphinxes might be writers too. I know it was some kind of mix of like writer and casters that made it really awkward, because the casters would wreck your assassins. Oh yeah, and there's one with triple Aussie, but I don't think that one was hard. I remember only one of the Aussie fights really tripped us up, but it like super tripped us up. Yeah, DW adding drop rates in game would be pretty cool. Although I don't think they're gonna do that because it's so depressing when you see how low the drop rates are. It makes people not want to farm. I'm pretty sure that's why. Try to get her to 50 and then level Robin some. I think then we'll go. Can somebody get a great success, man? Like just one. Taking these cards away from Ku, man. Shit. Not really any point in ascending her if I'm not going to level her, because you don't get a skill from this level up. Or whatever. But actually, I think we do. What am I saying? Getting my ascensions confused. Put your mask back on. That art style looks so dumb. By the way, her faceless, or her maskless, her face without the mask in the actual Fate Zero art looks fine. And it looks like a normal person. But it looks so weird in FGO. It's like they overdid the makeup. It's like too extreme. Makes it look kind of unbelievable. Hopefully we can get Robin to MP3 before Gwaine. He's gonna be the next unit I give attack foes to, for sure, in the shop resets or whatever. Can't get his third skill yet, because fucking third skill strengthening quests or interludes or whatever the hell. Anything for the bits, man. Good evening, yep. For me, it's getting pretty late already, but although I used to always stream at this time of day. Alright. I think it's time to fight Beowulf. Gotta get your ascensions in order, though. Gotta be stylish at all times, chat. Yeah, that's the one right there. He's gotta be stage 4 to get his third skill unlocked. You get 2 SQ from it. When can I do 100 faces? Let me look. Her NP upgrade. That text doesn't really say. I'm guessing it's just max ascension. Normally the text makes it kind of clear, but that one doesn't. Bond 5? If we just need Bond 5 or 3rd, then we should be really close. Once you beat Camelot? Oh, you're right. I think you do have to beat Camelot. Okay, well... 100 Face is really meta here. Although we could have her clean up, like if we Zerg Beowulf down and then have her in the back. See, I just want to delete Liz and Hercules, right? Because Hercules is like too strong and Liz is a joke. Like just have normal... Can I just bring my units and not this stuff? Like, goddamn. Fucking Liz. It's mainly just having 1 dead unit's fine, having 2 is really annoying, especially when your account is this weak. I feel like this just isn't enough gas. I think these Force 4 units are really good, but I think I'll pretty much have to use Hercules. I don't think there's enough value here. So I might have to cut him and put someone else in, like put Ku in. I just don't like missing out on Bond, on Herc. I feel like if we're far enough in the fight that I feel like Ku would have worked, or another assassin or something, I'll just use Herc, because I'd rather get Herc the Bond than be splitting hairs with this stuff. I want to do the attack down now? I think so. That's risky though, because my Robin doesn't have like the reduced cooldown, so I gotta get his NP really quick. They don't have that much health though. Beowulf is pretty hard though. Trying to decide who I want NP gain on the most. I guess Robin, because Robin's gonna be the one to take out Beowulf, and Beowulf is the bigger threat. I wish they'd given Beowulf like 60k more health and maybe the dragon like 10 or 20k more health. At this point in the game, I feel like they could spruce him up a bit. probably should have healed and done all that. Losing the NP gain's not that big of a deal. I'm gonna have faith Robin's gonna one-shot Beowulf. We're not gonna overcharge him though, so we're pushing it a bit. You know what? I'm gonna do this. Just because her overcharge right now doesn't really matter. Just in case we like barely don't kill. Should be alright though. Woo! I am so glad I made that decision. Oh my god. NP2 life, by the way. Can I get NP3, please? Alright, we should be good. I thought Beowulf was gonna have a lot more health than that. Yeah, Robin Hood and Ushi have been our good nukers right now. I guess I could have done Mozart's art card, then quick art on 100 phase. So I get her MP again. Yeah, I should have done that. I would have won this turn. Oh! Got it anyway, boys. It's all calculated. Guys, Liz was the support all along. Alright, that worked out. Yeah, Liz carry, totally. Honestly, Liz actually is kind of an okay support, especially when you do all of her upgrades, and then she does some okay damage herself. Like, she's not a bad 4-star. They lost. Yeah, we don't have Mordred in this music. Do we try to make a Rama setup just cuz? They don't have a lot of Buster support though. And this song is so good. Fucking APOC's OST is great. APOC and Dean Stay Night are the best Fate soundtracks in my opinion. They really nailed it. Oh! I don't remember that. He absorbed the dragon's health, clearly. Let's see. Shame I don't have Shakespeare more ready to go. He's not quite worth it yet. But I will get up Shakespeare. We're gonna need budget NP charge. Could do Chin though. I feel like Chin's gonna be a slightly higher priority. I need to get Arash and Chin Gong, or Arash and Mozart. I'm sorry, Arash or Shakespeare up by the time we get to Corrupted Ushi. I don't want to make that fucking mistake again. Not doing the art chain because I think we'll get our NP anyway, and this will do slightly more damage. Do way more damage if I could have done Buster first, but I wanted to make sure I got it, so. Oh fuck, he killed George. I could have done Buster first then. Okay, how can I not... Like, I kind of want to just do the Robin thing here. because we got double art card. I mean, come on, like it is good. Yeah, Beowulf's awesome. When you get that second skill buff, it's really good. I like Fate Zero's soundtrack, but I don't like it nearly as much as Stay Night or APOC. I feel like a lot of, now this, I'm generalizing, there are exceptions, but I think overall the soundtrack for Fate Zero is kind of just too bombastic and kind of overly epic. And it's just kind of almost generic epic. Lots of like, you know, opera kind of stuff, which is fine. That's you know, it's not bad music or anything, but it doesn't feel very tailored to Fate. And like I said, there's some exceptions. I think there are some soundtracks in the Fate Zero OST that are really good. But honestly, I like the OST for the Fate Zero book better. They made a soundtrack for the book, just like cuz. That was a long time ago. I think it was for like a radio show where they were like reading the book aloud or something, and they made some music for it. But they put a lot of effort into it, and it was really good. But you know, I do like Fate Zero soundtrack, but it doesn't have like that Fate vibe that I think Stay Night and APOC have. Yeah, I guess I should have done this for Robin as well. I wasn't really thinking. That did not work out for the crits. So if my skill ranks were up, like if my Robin Hood had his golden rule at a higher rank, and my Mozart had his art up at a higher rank, our Robin Hood would have gotten NP right there. And then we would have NP'd again this turn with him, which would have been kind of amazing. Well, I wouldn't say that generic. I think it's pretty possible to make a really epic song that is specific to something and is very unique. I think Armored Core does a good job of that, because Armored Core oftentimes when they do like the climactic stuff, because the typical Armored Core songs have a very specific sound and like the electronics they use and the way they use drums and stuff. You know, it's a very fucking unique sound, and they kind of mix that when they do the more epic stuff. Like the boss themes and stuff, a lot of times they still mix a lot of that in, so it still very much sounds like Armored Core. And there's other soundtracks that do that. It's very possible to give something that really, you know. And with Fate Zero, I kind of feel like it's not even those really extreme songs. It's like even the kind of just whatever songs kind of have that bombastic sound, right? And it's not bad. It sounds good. It's just it doesn't feel like I said, Fate very much. I think one of the exceptions though would be like This Day and Never Again. That one does really capture the vibe of like with Gilgamesh and everything. Like that worked pretty well. But you know, it's because they kind of, I think they put more effort into that song than some of the other ones. And again, I'm exaggerating, like or I'm generalizing. There are some good songs that do feel very Fatey in Fate Zero. I think it's really tailored for almost everything in the Stay Night anime and the APOC anime is just like oozing, you know, the aesthetic of the series. I like Berserker Lot's theme in, again, the book soundtrack. It's so good. It fits him so well. That's one of my favorite Fate songs, honestly. And it's so Berserker Lancelot. And just the instrumentation and stuff is just done really well. I really do think they took some... I think it's... God, I can't remember. I think a lady does the soundtrack for Fate Zero, but I can't remember. Anyway, whoever the fuck does it, I'm pretty sure they took cues from the soundtrack from the book, because like the Lancer theme that they use, like when Diarmid and Saber are fighting Pastor Gillies and stuff, that's very much like kind of references Lancer's theme from the soundtrack, the original soundtrack, and like when this battle is to the strong, or whatever the fuck that song is called. That's the stupid song name. But anyway, that song is used several times, but I think it was originally designed for Gilgamesh versus Berserker a lot. That's when it first plays, and like it just the kind of half of it's kind of got that like an ancient sound. I think it's for Gilgamesh, and then all the guitar stuff I think is for Lancelot. And Lancelot's theme, and again the book soundtrack, heavily used guitar and stuff. Like I really do think some of those songs did kind of take inspiration from the other soundtrack. Okay. Beowulf down. I don't think any of the Fate anime though have had like a bad soundtrack. I think all of them have had a good soundtrack. I just don't not all of them feel super tailored to what they're based on or whatever, but I think all of them are pretty good. Even the Fuyuki movie for Fate Grand Order I think had good music. Again, didn't quite have that vibe, but it still was good music. And I do think, I don't even like MASH, but I think MASH's theme was really good, and I think they should have reused it in Babylon, and I actually think it's a fucking travesty that they didn't. Because, again, I'm not really a MASH fan, but that song was just obviously tailored to her character like 3 billion%. And so I'm like, they just obviously should have kept reusing that song in Babylonian anime, and then, you know, fuck use it in the game for all I care. Like, it's really good when you can have reoccurring stuff like that, because, you know, they've done that with other characters, like with Excalibur and Gil's theme and other stuff, so they should have done that. MASH has some fallacy though. Some shade in chat. I love Robin's animations, man. They're great. Oh, and Shiki's theme, obviously. Am I the only one that wishes when you used an NP that has a unique theme song, that song kept playing at least for a while or until someone else used an NP or something like that? Like, it's really annoying when you use Unlimited Blade Works or Shiki's NP, then the song just dies in like 3 seconds, and it's like, okay, well. That's, I thought like Super Robot Wars and SD Gundam, like strategy games, that's what they do, is like if you activate a super attack or something and you play the footage and it has a unique song, it just keeps playing until you do something else that would change the song. Or like, you know, a boss triggers or whatever. But yeah, if they put some effort into that, that would be nice. I tell you, man, if you put some effort into like, because, you know, in order to make music kind of adaptive like that, you have to put some effort into it. Otherwise, you know, just random things keep playing when they shouldn't. So like when you break a boss's health bar, it starts playing music for the boss. Or if there was like a generic boss theme playing, when you break their health bar, it goes back to that music. When you play someone else's NP, it goes back to the regular music. And then you can have a generic boss theme, and then when the boss does their NP, maybe they have a specific song that starts playing, things like that. Like if when you're fighting Zeus, you know, the battle starts and everything, it plays Zeus's theme. And if you do Unlimited Blade Works, it just starts playing Unlimited Blade Works until you break one of its health bars, or until Zeus NPs again. Stuff like that. That's not actually hard to do, and a lot of games that really do care about the music and stuff, they do stuff like that. And you got like Metal Gear Rising, Revengeance, you know, it does dynamic music that's adaptive to what's going on and stuff, and it's done very, very well. It's like, it's something most people when they're playing a game won't even notice or think about, but subconsciously it'll affect the mood and how you feel and blah, 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 blah. And I think it's really worth doing. And obviously I'm biased because I really like music and you know, I put a lot of effort into music into my videos and stuff, but like, I really think even if a lot of players won't even notice it, on a subconscious level they will, and it'll make things more enjoyable. So Rama's, we just go full Rama here. Because we don't, yeah, they're just 2 Lancers. He got it. I can check if I'm having stream issues. I have 0 drop frames, so I don't think the stream's having any issues. But Twitch often is just shitting a brick, so. So far I haven't been all that impressed with Heaven's Feels music. I don't mind it. Honestly though, I need to listen to some of it again. It's been a little while. But it actually is probably some of the most forgettable music I feel. Again, I don't think it's bad. It just feels really generic. And I like most of the Ufotable soundtracks have kind of been like that to me. I think Fate Zero's has been the best, but even like I was saying earlier, it definitely is I think a bit more on the generic side. It'd be interesting to know what the creative process is, though. Like, some companies work really closely with the composers, and they can do a lot of handcrafted stuff, but a lot of companies don't, and they just ask for like a generic checklist of like some happy songs, sad songs, action songs, epic songs, that kind of thing. And so you can't. A lot of times, it's not even going to be the composer's fault. Speaking of amazing music from anime, this is a really good one. This is from Witch Hunter Robin. That has I really like that soundtrack, because I think it does have its own vibe throughout the whole soundtrack, and it does fit the show quite well. Her group disbanded. Feels bad. I like the series in alright. It's not like, you know, the best thing ever, but I enjoy it. I think the beginning is really slow and overly episodic. Like, that show kind of transitions from being episodic into then not episodic, but it does it too slowly. Like, I get it that at the beginning they're kind of establishing the universe and the characters and stuff, and that's fine. But I think they keep episodic way too long. I haven't seen it in so freaking long though that I don't know, if I watch it again my opinion might drastically change, and maybe I won't like it as much now. I don't know. I do like the art though. I think the art has aged very well, and hand animation generally does. So. That's not going to be much NP gain. Hopefully Ushi gets art card because deck just shuffled, and I'm hoping to get overkill. Perfect. That's overkill. I didn't need to. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's just it's more NP gain than we need. Fullmetal Alchemist's got some pretty good music too. I was hoping Mozart would kill. That's chaotic evil, sir. So we're relying on an Ushi quick crit that's 80%. I don't think it'll kill though. That's the best I can do. Touch Terra to kill it. I actually find Gil and Mozart being the same VA really noticeable. The very first time I ever heard Mozart, I was like, oh hey, it's Gil. Obviously his like voice inflection is really different. Like it's, you know, very different vibe. They definitely sell different like attitude, like no problem. But yeah, I very easily can tell that was Gil's voice actor. Although I really like his voice actor, so maybe I just didn't notice here. I tell you, one I did not notice and would never have noticed until someone pointed it out, and even now I still don't, I can't figure it out, is just freaking Canis having the same voice actress as Pink Valkyrie and all that. Like, just, what the hell, man? Like, there's no, like, I wouldn't, if no one told me that or I didn't look it up or anything, I would never have noticed that. There's no way. Kind of enjoying using Story Rama. I mean, it's not really that loud. I mean, it's a little loud, but it's not that bad. Okay, this is 3 waves. I think we're trying to get Rama's wife here, actually. Isn't she what's locked up in this jail or something? I think Rama gets wrecked at some point. I mean, the best Valkyrie is blatantly the green one, which they're never going to make a costume because they're cowards. I would be so pissed though if they added Green Valkyrie and then she was lame. Like if they actually made that like a character and had voice acting and stuff instead of just being a costume, and she turned out to be lame, I wouldn't be happy about that. She done that last turn. I have no idea why I didn't. Should kill the middle one, then Rama can mess up the Lancer. That's a really awkward turn, because if I use the Buster card for... Oh my god, well... Rip George. Got his NP and died. Rama's a pretty good saber, but it would be nice if he got a buff. Just to be a bit more solid, but he's totally fine. But there's other 4-star sabers that are better, so it's not like there isn't room to buff them. But there's definitely other sabers I think that are in worse shape. That should kill everything. Yeah, I like his animations, and I'm so glad they didn't fuck up his MP. I always liked how his MP like had like the lightning hitting the ground coming off of like the disc and stuff, and it looks really awesome. And I was really worried when they gave him an animation update it wouldn't do that anymore, because a lot of times they really change the particle effects and stuff. But thankfully it stayed true to the original in that department. Never enough hero proofs. Hopefully that'll be an option in the next month login reward, but I think it was pickable like 2 login rewards ago or something, so maybe not. Hopefully, but not necessarily likely. Rama spam it is. Wait, are we fighting Deermid? Because I'm not really ready for that. I thought this was a trash stage. Uh-oh. Yeah, Deermid's in America quite a bit, actually. Couldn't decide if I wanted to taunt or not. Crit! Please crit, come on, crit. Crit! Crit! Damn it. I'm killing the lower health one because I want the overkill, and I also want George to die. Crit! God damn it, man. So I want to not kill this guy this turn. Should do the trick. Well. If they could have been asked to crit once, they would have killed him. I'd say how hard America's gonna be kind of depends on how much you prepared for it. If you just roll right into it, it can definitely be an issue. But if you're like, you know, you beat London and then you're waiting like a month or 2 for them to add it to the game, like when it wasn't even released yet, then generally you're gonna be fine. But even if you can roll right into it, it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, it's the first singularity that starts getting a little bit tougher. Putting the art card last because it does the most damage. I don't have a buster card, so. Ow, holy. Wow, okay, yeah, you crit Ushi. I see how it is. There you go. Alright. George didn't quite work out like I wanted for that stage. We're overcharging our NPs so hard that it's just not necessary. See, now they're just critting like crazy. I wanted to do a BM combo, but I don't want to risk that actually failing to kill. Sorry I'm not talking a lot today, I'm kind of tired. Okay, let's see, Rama NP that one, and then Ushi. I guess we're just hoping for a crit again here. Actually, I think we'll probably just barely fail to kill all three. Actually, never mind, we got the art up for the crit, that should do it. And we have the first card, Buster bonus, so yeah, this should work. I'm really looking forward to fighting Gwen again. Gotta get our Robin ready, Robin and David. Come on, Rama, you got this. Easy. Jesus, that was way more damage than I was thinking. I guess the double attack up, crit up, and art up, and then first card Buster bonus, so yeah, I guess. Jesus. Okay, this must be Deer Mid. Let's get a bit more serious. Need to get Hans up, man. Art is like the only thing I can really support hard right now. Alright, so we have a Buster Quick. Like Buster Quick units. Fucking using Ushi as a support here. If Jason was leveled a bit, actually, he would kind of work as a support, and then he's also a saber, so. Come on, I want this to kill and then get MP game for Caesar. Oh yeah. The one problem with Caesar, man, is MP gain is not good. I might be tempted to do the art chain, but I think we do this because we'll probably get our NPs from the second wave if we like it or not. And before I regret that, and the deck just shuffles in like the worst ways, and I get like no NP gain for anybody except for George. Don't you have to beat Camelot to get Arash's upgrades as well? So we have a lot of reasons to beat Camelot. Because it'll unlock Bedivere and the story summon, which that's what we're gonna use our SQ on, because chat's crazy. I mean, what? Hope we get Tesla, man. Now the odds are terrible, but... I rolled Troy for Bedivere. He's worth it, honestly. I would normally wait for a class banner, or if he's rated up or whatever, but... Probably could have done a better turn than that. I probably could have killed them both. I should have done, I think, Rama Buster quick and then George's Buster. I think that would have killed both, and had Rama attack the higher health one. Okay. Now we just... Do I wait for George to die? Nah, we don't do that. Oh. You're still alive. Oh yeah! I forgot! This account has him! We got him at like an MP3 or something crazy! We just kept pulling him from Story Gosha like he was rated up or something. I forgot about that. We need to level him. We'll use him for Lost Belt 4's final boss and stuff like that. Like he'll be our AoE Lancer. We could use him for Corrupted Ushi, actually. We'll probably do that instead of Arash. Although we'll level Arash anyway, but... shit, I forgot that this account got Fionn so much. That's Caesar chain. That's tempting, but it's really nice to be able to buff Rama as well. Shame that we can't get Ushi in here for the other charisma, though. I think Rama will kill that. I actually wasn't paying attention to his NP damage throughout this. Making a few extra stars, because I'm going to try to get Rama to crit next turn. This account is kind of weak on Lance. Oh, fuck! Well, that sucks. Oh, that sucks. I had faith and it was not rewarded. See, you're not supposed to level up faith, you're supposed to level up intelligence. That way you're not a dumbass and you make good decisions. I get those cool animations though. Oh, let's go Rama NT gain. Let's go. I like it. Look at that. Probably could have gotten her NP if we'd done Art Buster Art. Fionn, you can't have double evade. It doesn't work that way. I should have done... Why didn't I do Charisma? I have no idea why I didn't do Charisma. That would have been so much damage. Also, RNG, please. Yeah, I don't think it is max rank. Yep, it's not. You fool! Dude didn't level his skills, man. Also, since when did Fionn have a triple Buster deck? Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic the Caesar. Easy. Caesar the Hedgehog, yeah. Hey Ninja. Did he redo Rue 4? Doesn't, like, the shading looks slightly different. Hey DW Wheeler, thank you for the raid, man. Just doing some America. Appreciate the raid. I mean, defend yourselves. The Rue gun is so good. Get off my land! Alright, what are we doing here? I'm guessing this is trash mobs. Do I work in Robin? Yeah, it's fine. That's not Robin. That is not Robin. Don't need Bond on Fergus. Got a new job at a bank? Damn, grants, man. I gotta watch for 3 weeks before I start. So I get to watch for 3 weeks before I start. Yeah, I'm sure when you get a new job, it's always pretty I describe it. This is how it is for me and like anyone that I know. Anytime you get a new job, it's like until you get adjusted to it, it's pretty life consuming. The story support CE is just a generic CE that they kind of blanket give it to everyone, and it's 50% starting NP and 50% NP gain, which is really good, but it doesn't have any damage up and it doesn't have any stats. But still, it's just they get their NP pretty easily, which is nice. Yeah, they started doing that in Launch Belt 3, I think, and then a little while after that, they kind of retroactively added it to everything. And then like newer events, they give them random event CEs. So they give drop like story supports and events will give drop bonuses. And some of the older events, when they rerun them, they'll retroactively add in CEs, but they don't always do that. Generally, if it's like if they're making a big deal out of the rerun, they will. But there were several that they did not. I wonder if NA will correct that. Musashi has the CE now, so that helps. Yeah, that was rough back in the day. And she was like, dude, if you kept Musashi in the front row, because she had no CE and she didn't have her skills and all that stuff, she was in that awkward range where like she would often die like right as she'd get her NP. But then you're like, is it really worth trying to get her NP faster? Because you know she's not that good. It was just so awkward. It was really, really bad. Yep, Chen Gong, man. Takes care of the forced story support nonsense for us. He's a good guy. Should have cast this earlier and I'd already have my NP. Chen Gong is just the best thing. Like he can be a DPS, he can be a DPS caster, he can be a support, he can be a cycler. You know, gets on his bike and just starts cycling the units. It's great. And then he can also just yeet annoying supports that you don't want to bring and things like that. It's such a and he's so good at all of those things. So it gives you such. He's just so nice for team comp options. He just opens up a lot of doors. It's very nice. But he's not OP either. Like he's really well done. Very, very good unit. Like he's good, he's helpful on the high end and the low end. Because like some units are only good on the low end. But he's good on both, but he's not overpowered at all. Like just really, really well done. America's long. Damn. I probably could have done that turn. I should have done Buster Art on the Lancer, then done Robin's NP, and that probably would have killed everything. Doesn't Rama say that line, like, just outside of America? Like, it's not unique to America? Feels bad. Wow, great rewards on this stage. That's helpful. We're a little bit over halfway, I think. Oh god, this is a wonky one. Giving her the better CE so she comes in after George dies and hopefully kills the rider or whatever. Either that or we go DPS Nightingale. Only Nightingale had her buster up. pretty lame that she doesn't. Hmm. Don't fail me, Robin. Worked out. That didn't. That really didn't. Why did I not taunt with George? I thought it would be okay. Well, too late now. If we taunt now, it'd be a waste. Fucking awesome animation right there. Really? You want to like buffer something or attack George even without the taunt? You know, you could do that. Hmm. Kind of a weird time to NP, but art team. Nightingale is well known for being an art team support. Such a nice shade of green at the end there. Only it was on the screen longer. Guys, it's George DPS time. He's waited all this time. And obviously, you know, we didn't give him the attack foes because he'd be too powerful, right? And he might have actually killed the dragon, which, you know, we couldn't have that now. We wouldn't want to hurt anyone with that sword. Well, but he crits. So I casted that because just in case, in some insane world, Robin doesn't kill, I don't want her to get one shot by. Oh my god. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, if she gets impeded here, hopefully that'll keep her alive. I just calculated. I'm sad that I calculated that though, because I would have been much happier if you had just killed it, Robin. Nothing wakes you up like bullshit. What is this stage, man? Bonk him. The early FGO was really obsessed with dragons, man. Well, Robin wasn't really needed here. There weren't much in the way of sabers. Mr. Dragon, would you like to use that double attack up on St. George? There you go. You just gotta ask. See, this is a polite man. Dragon, excuse me. Wyvern. Flying lizard. Guys, she's saving us. Yeah, I'd take a Siegfried. Just in general. Why are they giving me so much QP? I don't need it. I need mats. Hey, user. Oh, let's see. This will work, I guess. How many people in chat like Kadok? Like, oh, it has to be above average. Too whiny. That seems fairly split. Right now, I'm kind of with a lot of people in chat, and I'd rate him as like 6 out of 10. He could easily go up or down. Like, he could really easily go up or down, depending on how things play out. Whiny out of 10. He's not really that whiny, he's just like a bitch. Give it 7 out of 10 right now. I think I'd give him like 6.3 out of 10. I almost wanted to art chain there. I could have done it better than you. That's my best Kadok impression. Like the prologue and everything. I think they honestly, and it's almost too on the nose. They want you to think he's a whiny they want you to think he's a bitch, right? They want you to think that he doesn't understand what you went through and he's salty and then they want him to grow up, right? That's very much where they're going with that character, is they want him to grow the fuck up. Mission accomplished. My favorite's definitely Wadin. It's not even close. It's a total blowout, boys. Look at all this healing we got, though. Barrel, oh man. That's a guy. How many people in chat like Barrel? You have to actually know the character though. If you haven't like kept it with JP, don't chime in. We got it, because obviously there's something very significant with him. So, fuck no. Yeah, I don't really like him right now. We'll see. So antagonists are supposed to be, dicks. But they haven't done a whole lot with him right now, and he ruined everything. I like his design. I don't know, we'll see. I'm mostly undecided, but so far, he's a dick. But yeah, we'll see. The main thing is, how do I put this? So it's okay for an antagonist to like screw over characters you like if they do it in style, right? And he hasn't really done that. He doesn't like so far they haven't characterized him in a very interesting way. He's kind of just been a dick, right? And not like acting like a dick. He just is a dick, right? He hasn't just I don't know, the way they write him so far, it's almost like they're trying to keep information from us, so they're not willing to like write him. That's really how it feels to me. So I figure they're saving it for later.
The
Hazuma is an asshole with style, right? Yeah, I just feel like they haven't made him very awesome, right? He's not like scheming and you know anything like that. It was, if anything, he just kind of took advantage of an opportunity that just the plot put in his lap. You know, his plan to kill Wadim didn't even work, right? And then just the circumstances played out perfectly, and it just in 5 seconds it went from mission failed to, oh hey, these circumstances are perfect and I didn't do a damn thing, right? It's just not awesome, right? He's not being very active. He's not. But again, he hasn't had very much screen time, and it feels like they're kind of trying to hide his personality and everything from us, which is kind of lame though. It feels unnatural. Like, I'm hoping they make him better. FGO's had that problem though with a lot of characters. Whenever there's characters that they're planning on using later, like with, you know, as an example. Why did I just do Arda? Fuck. Actually, I guess that works. Anyway, an example would be like Muramasa. Even, you know, they're not going to go really in depth on every, you know, like about him in Lost Belt 5 because they're planning on using him more seriously in Lost Belt 6. Things like that. Whenever there's a character that like they're using them right now, but they know this isn't their moment, if you will, they kind of go out of their way to contrive things so that you don't really see them too clearly, if you will. Yeah, we talked about Ort a fuckload in the last stream. I'll try to refrain from getting too into that. What if the sabers are just trash? Of Nightingale, deal with it. Chat, what is it called? Damn it, I can't remember. It's the largest object in the universe, and it encompasses a lot of like constellations. So they put a lot of those constellations in its name, and it's like something like Hercules Wall or something. I don't remember the name of it exactly, but I know it encompasses the Hercules or Heracles constellation, and it's literally the largest known thing in the universe. And I was thinking about if that would get a type, if they would do that, because if the Oort Cloud gets a type, it's kind of weird because that thing is basically a cluster of galaxies and a lot of other stuff. It's one of the most Gilgamesh's ego. I wonder, maybe a lot of people don't know what I'm talking about, but it's like the Great Walls or something like that, and it's basically just this giant. There we go. True's got it. Yeah, that's the thing. That thing is nuts. Right, it basically defies our understanding of physics, and basically things are going on there that we don't understand yet, because it's just so big. It makes up a... Okay, so this is one of those things that's really hard for the human brain to understand, because our brain just did not evolve to grasp like things of this size and scale and stuff. Just like our brains have really struggled to grasp things that are incredibly small, like, you know, microscopic and that kind of thing, and even smaller. But you know, the universe is so big, it's ridiculous. Our own galaxy is so large, it's kind of too big for us to comprehend. And then our galaxy is a tiny little speck, right? And there's just countless galaxies. And yeah, that Great Wall is basically a combination of like supernovas and galaxies and everything, and a lot of unknown stuff. And it makes up a very significant percentage of the known universe, which is just scary because generally nothing makes up a sizable percentage of the known universe. Like generally the largest star we know of is so big it would take up like all the space between like most of our solar system, right? It's massive, and that thing is nothing into the size of the universe. Like it's not even noticeable, right? Where the Great Wall is, it is large enough to be a very big chunk of the universe, which is just crazy. But yeah, way back on point, if the Oort Cloud gets to have a type, then I wonder if they would bother to give that thing a type. It's just kind of weird though, because it's it's an object, but it's kind of a combination of a bunch of other objects and stuff, so I don't know if they would or not. I hope that they would give it a type, honestly. I think that would be really cool. Yeah, that thing is just, it's too big. There's just no way for the human brain to really understand how big it is. Like, it's just, there's no way. It's just, it's so beyond our scale. Like, I think our own solar system, like all the empty space in our own solar system, is too big for the human brain to really grasp. And our solar system is just a little speck in our galaxy, and our galaxy is just a little speck in the grand scheme of things, so it's pretty wild. Yeah, if they gave that thing a type, I agree. They shouldn't even care. What are the ultimate ones? I went over this last stream, but I guess I didn't explain that specifically. I'll go into real quick. Basically, a big thing in the Nasuverse, not just Fate, just the Nasuverse, is like the backbone. And they don't focus on this stuff much, right? It's just like a lot of stories, they'll have their mythos, their lore, their like gods and stuff, but you never see that stuff. It just kind of lays the foundation for like a fantasy setting or something like that. But so basically, the Nasuverse is really kind of built on a lot of like celestial bodies, right? That's like a big part of it, even though it focuses on, you know, humans and vampires and then the heroic spirits on the Fate side of things. The backbone, the stuff behind Shiki's eyes, you know, the stuff behind Magecraft and the gods and stuff, it's mostly based on celestial bodies, right? You know, the Earth, you know, Gaia, the Crimson Moon, and all that stuff. And the ultimate ones are basically any major celestial bodies, like kind of like their champion, if you will, like their avatar almost. And it basically, not every celestial body has one or doesn't have one yet. Like Earth doesn't have one yet, but it's like trying to get one. Spoilers, it never gets one. Anyway, so basically whatever life form on the planet that evolves to be the strongest of its planet, like the strongest thing on Mercury, the strongest thing on the moon, or the strongest thing on Saturn, whatever, and if it becomes, you know, strong enough, it becomes the quote-unquote type. And so, some under the hood stuff definitely happens, but we don't know. They haven't explained it. Ultimate ones have not been clearly explained, and they're kind of supposed to be like that. Like the story that they're in, they're supposed to be like alien. They're supposed to be super alien that we don't understand. It straight up says that in the character material book. It's not only are they so alien to us, we could never like come to an understanding with them. They're alien to each other, right? Like type Mercury and type Jupiter just operate on such different levels that they don't understand each other at all, right? Like that's how all the types are. But basically, yeah, they're just the ultimate life form of whatever respective celestial body they're from, and I assume they like inherit their planet's will, because all the planets in the Nasuverse are alive. Not exactly like alive like a human is, but they have like a will and everything. And so type Jupiter is the ultimate one of Jupiter, and it's just the strongest thing that ever was on Jupiter, and whatnot. All the planets seem to like not really care about each other too much, but they're kind of like siblings that don't get along, but then when shit really hits the fan, they got each other's back. That's kind of what it seems like, because when Earth calls for help from the other planets, they do try to help, right? So it's kind of like that brother you don't get along with, but when, you know, shit hits the fan, you actually will help them. You know, it's kind of that kind of deal. That's what it seems like anyway. Yeah, basically Earth dies in notes, and when it dies, it's like, once the other planets, it's all, avenge me, right? And then the other planets send their ultimate ones to Earth to murder all the quote-unquote humans, if you will. They're not exactly humans anymore, but that's a whole nother kettle of fish. Yeah, types are basically the title of ultimate ones. They're referred to as both. Except for the Crimson Moon is just referred to as the Crimson Moon. I mean, it is referred to as Type Moon as well, but like they don't. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they do call it the ultimate one of the moon, but generally, like it's just the Crimson Moon, right? It's kind of like the whole thing. Crimson Moon is kind of weird. They don't really say if Gaia just died naturally and then it was mad that humanity outlived it. or if humans contributed to it, or if humans just straight up killed it. I would expect that at least humans contributed to it. When you look at like how humanity is in Notes, and then like in the way they treat the environment and everything, I would say it's pretty likely that they definitely contributed to Earth going the way of the dodo. Like, it's set so far in the future, obviously. I'm sure Earth was old as fuck. But yeah, I definitely think humans had a big part of it. You know, I never have issues with hearts. That's definitely one mat that I never have a hard time with. I wish George had died, so we had gotten Mozart. Yeah, but I mean, Prism Ilya isn't that connected to Notes, even though they do have some stuff in common. But like, I think that's just unique to Prism Ilya, right? Because there's other Fate stories in equivalent timelines, like age-wise, and they're not having mana issues. And we don't know how much Earth actually needs mana to survive anyway. Like, it's definitely, it seems to be a thing, but... I mean, I have so many accounts, there's no, like... It wouldn't matter if one of my accounts farmed that stage or not, which I actually never farmed that stage, but it wouldn't matter because I have like 50,000 accounts and none of them have ever needed hearts. Why am I putting all this effort into this turn? The enemy has 14k left. I'm acting like the boss is like 200k left and I gotta be like doing the deep. I just overkilled that guy so hard. I honestly, I think the only connection we're gonna see between Prism Ilya and Notes is the whole mana situation. Because that's something inherent to just the universe as a whole. I don't think they're gonna do really too much heavy Notes Prism Ilya stuff. Pretty different stories there. I mean, they might reference it some, but they've referenced Notes, you know, in all kinds of random works, so. No Rama? Oh no, we do a good Rama, okay. I mean, I don't like Prism Ilya. I don't know why anyone would expect that I would. I don't like its premise. I don't like its art style. I don't like the characters. I don't like lollies. That's probably all I really need to say. Oh! Hi Lee. This is a boss fight. Excuse me. We should be alright though. This is really vanilla. I mean, if other people like Prism Ilya, that's fine, you know, everyone can like what they want, but yeah, it's just not my shtick at all. It's got some okay music, I guess. Kind of pushing our luck on the NP game here. George, can you help us out? Oh, I don't want him to kill Mozart too fast. I'm sorry, Ushi. That's what we went with. I mean, it's like Prism Ilya is kind of based on something I don't care about, and then there's lots of like fan service and everything, and it's kind of creepy. So I mean, it's obviously not my shtick. Pretty sure this boss is super dead.
正しき命の道へ向かわず
Yeah, see, here's the thing. What I find annoying is this is actually a controversial thing to say in certain pockets of the anime community, of which I am ashamed, but I don't like sexualizing kids, right? In 99% of human society, that's a really uncontroversial thing to say. But for whatever reason, in a lot of the anime community, it's, you know, it's the opposite, which I'm not a fan of. It's just pixels? That's not a very good argument. Like, I've talked about this before, and I agree fantasy is not the same as reality, right? There's obviously a difference. But portraying things that are creepy in real life and fantasy doesn't make them any less creepy. I think a big part of it is anime has been cultivating this culture and has been like normalizing sexualizing kids for a really long time, and a lot of people grew up with that, and then so it's kind of just in their brain. And I don't think they're like pedophiles outside of anime or anything. I don't think they would, you know, harm regular, you know, children in life. But and if they do, fuck them. But anyway, you know, throw the book at them. But that doesn't make it, like I said, any less creepy, and I don't think it's a good idea to normalize something like that. And I talked about this before. And you can really see the difference in how people respond. I see a lot of people compare it to violence. So like, why is it okay to show violence in video games and, you know, shoot people in video games and stuff? But like, look at how differently people respond to like a game that maybe glorifies valor and honor and just the, you know, that kind of thing, you know, like Halo or something, and versus how that Hatred game was received, right? That was glorifying, you know, being like a school shooter or some nonsense, right? Like look at the difference in, because, you know, violence is pretty innate to humanity, right? And life, and most things that portray violence generally don't really portray it necessarily in a good light, but they will glorify certain aspects of it, like valor, honor, and glory and bravery and those things, and because those are, you know, good traits. But most things that portray war or whatnot don't really portray war as a good thing. Almost nothing does that. But when you have something like that Hatred game that it was universally hated, and a lot of people stood up for it in that, saying that, you know, it has the right to exist, but that doesn't mean that doesn't mean we have to like it, right? There's a difference between, you know, freedom of speech and these kinds of things, and then also liking something, right? And also, when it comes to the whole, oh, he looks like a child, but we're saying it's 300 years old, that's just a technicality that people use to justify that kind of stuff. I guess we just go with Ushi and hope Caster is the only... I'll go with Nightingale too, it's just good against everything. But it really annoys me how much people try to defend this stuff when it's the only, you know, community in like ever that does that, and they try to act like they're victims when people are like, yeah, this is creepy. Like, you're not a victim because everyone else on the planet thinks sexualizing kids is really creepy, right? That doesn't make you a victim.
おまはいはっあってきつい
Tori is a dad. Okay. Unfortunately, that's true.
本格治療を開始します覚悟は
Get on the Mysticode heal first.
いいでしょ
お任せをします
せい
たっ
My neighborhood is, as always, firing off fireworks like crazy. And I am disappointed in them.
処置します診察しますたっ清潔金
It's not because of July, it's because of the protests. People have somehow they've combined fireworks with protests somehow. I don't know what it's supposed to mean, but it's been a thing for a long time here. But yes, wasting, literally blowing up your money. That's how you protest.
では行くぞ
お任せ承知お任せをやああって
I actually wish you could basically put someone in like a holodeck or a simulator or whatever and basically make all of humanity have to live in medieval times or even before medieval times, because believe me, it gets worse than medieval times for like a good year or two, right? Because I think that would make people a lot less entitled and a lot less spoiled. I really think that would do the job. Like I said this a few streams ago, it's not like there aren't issues in the modern world, there are, and when injustices happen to people, we don't need to ignore them. But on the flip side, we need to also keep, you know, ourselves in check and realize how, you know, our outrage is disproportionate so often, and we act like the world is worse than it ever has been, and we're so oppressed, and it's so hard. Meanwhile, we have like the lowest crime rates in history. We have the least war in history. We have the longest lifespans in history. Just objectively, the world has become so much better, and like we're so much better at dealing with the elements. We're so much safer from the elements than we used to be, right? Like, fuck all this, like, social nonsense. We used to be dying constantly to just the elements, right? I mean, just constantly, right? Now we don't have that problem anymore. And yet we act like... I feel like every generation of human feels like they're the most oppressed generation, right? I don't think it's unique to this one. Everyone's always like, oh, kids today. Like, I think every generation feels this way. I think every generation feels like they're the most oppressed generation. And generally, every generation is the least. Like, the further we get, the better humanity is collectively. And again, I'm not saying there aren't problems and there aren't things we should try to improve on. And when an individual has, you know, because an individual can get, you know, you can be born with fucking bone cancer. You can be born with bone cancer, right? That really sucks, right? But things like that have happened throughout all human time. And collectively, the amount of human suffering is much lower now than it ever has been. And yet we bitch like it's just the end of the world all of the time. Well, at least a percentage of people bitch like it's the end of the world all of the time. I mean, the medieval times were still very bad. I disagree with you very heavily, Generic. I think some people exaggerate it, sure. But I mean, life expectancy was extremely low in those times. Like, just our medical knowledge was so bad. Like, you're gonna die of a fucking cold half the time. Like our medical knowledge was just so shit. And then you had these. I mean, and this is just a fact. Now, these didn't happen all the time, but between, like, never mind just medieval time. From, you know, ancient Greece and stuff, this was a thing. Ancient Greece, medieval times, Dark Ages, all this stuff. You know, some wars would just wipe out almost the entire male population for, like, you know, all the cities and villages in an area. There were several areas where they'd have a really fucked up war, and then almost the entire adult male population would die in these wars. Like, when you would lose a war really badly, and you'd have, like, certain parts of, you know, these, like, nations and stuff, that almost their entire male population would just get wiped out, just all dead. It's like, yep, that's awesome. it's like that's not a good world to live in, right? And then you have, you know, again, just from disease, your life expectancy was much lower. You know, you had slavery, you had, you know, women dying to childbirth all the time. You had, like, it's not great. Like, it's really not great. There's no world where if I could choose to go back in time, I'm like, yep, I'm going back in time to medieval time. Like, no, absolutely not doing that. Henry V died to dysentery, right? As did many other people. Like, it just, you gotta be kidding me. Like, it sucks. Like, it absolutely would suck to live in those times. Now, I do agree to an extent that sometimes people do exaggerate it and act like it was like, they act like the plague was going around 24/7 for hundreds of years, right? It wasn't that bad, but it was still really bad. Like, if we can compare how, like, the coronavirus is going to, you know, the plague, it's not comparable, right? It's not comparable. I mean, life expectancy has increased so much in the last few hundred years. I mean, so much. And there are, to be fair, there is a flip side to this. And actually Gilgamesh talks about this a little bit, but he doesn't talk about this directly. But this is kind of part of what he's talking about. Hardship, you know, builds character, and it can make you actually happier and things like that. You know, real hardships in life make the good times shine a lot more, and makes you value what's important a lot better, and things like that. So you can have a life full of extreme hardships, but then actually be very happy. That can and does happen, for sure. However, it does just put things in perspective about, like, what you're bitching about. Not when I say you, I don't mean any specific person in chat. I just mean some metaphorical person. Well, Guild in general doesn't actually necessarily want to call the weak. That's more of Unlimited Blade Work specifically, and Grail Juice and his bad mood and everything. But, like, it's a, you know, he wants humanity to have purpose and to be strong and to have meaning, and not to just be a bunch of sheep. Where, like, the modern humans, you know, most humans don't have much purpose in their life, and they're not, you know, they're not striving towards anything. And, like, humanity is much weaker and that kind of thing, at least individually. I don't think we bring George for this one. Well, I think a lot of people actually agree with Gilgamesh's point of view and Unlimited Blade Works. I think most people would agree with this. He takes it too far, right? And it's because he's crazy and Unlimited Blade Works. Like, that's the whole point. That's like, that philosophy he has is not bizarre at all. It's actually really normal and fairly wise, I would say. But, you know, because he's insane in Unlimited Blade Works and the Grail Juice and all that, he's, you know, taking it way too fucking far. It's like, because you can make the statement that, you know, humans have lost their way and a lot of people are sheep and you know, we're not strong anymore and we're not working towards, you know, bettering ourselves and those kinds of things, and people have lost purpose. You can say all those things and it all be true. That doesn't mean you jump to, and then I'm going to kill 70% of humanity, right? There's a really big leap there, and that's normally not how Gilgamesh acts. Everything that Gilgamesh, you know, thinks in Unlimited Blade Works, he still thinks. And, like, Fate Zero and Fate Strange Fake and all those things, but because he's not crazy, you know, his solution's not, oh my god, let me kill a bunch of people, right? I mean, we're not talking about an individual. Plenty of individuals in today's world have meaning and those kinds of things. And that's what Gilgamesh acknowledges that. That's why he doesn't want to kill everyone. He wants to, you know, kill enough people that everyone has to work and everyone will have a proper role. And when you have a role, that means you have meaning in life. You know, if humanity's not so overbloated, every single person has to carry their weight, right? And they're going to have to fill a function in society and those kinds of things. That's what he's talking about, and that's why he wants to make humanity smaller. But, like, you know, in today's world, there are important people, and there are people that are instrumental in society's growth and maintaining it. You got doctors and engineers and all these things. But there's countless people that don't have any, you know, real role in society. This thing has 200k health. I'm not exactly ready for that.
いざあなたに治療が必要です。
That doesn't do anything.
痛みは生命活動の証。診察します。処置します。承知。
Like an individual can have meaning in their life no matter when they're born and no matter what society they're in. You know, you can make that for yourself at any time. But that doesn't mean collectively as a species, the majority of people are doing that. Well, you know, ultimately it's a subjective thing. Like what's meaningful, what's not meaningful. You know, what's worth doing in life, what's not. Is somebody outstanding or not outstanding? How important is it to be outstanding or not outstanding? No, these are all completely subjective. There's no way around that. I guess it's inherently a subjective thing. I mean, most of Fate is generally very character-driven, like very much so. I mean, it depends on the writer. Different writers kind of focus on different things, but Fate has historically been very character-driven. I wish, well, one, I wish Ushi didn't have quick down right now, but I wish the Unlimited Blade Works anime had done a better job of explaining what Gilgamesh was on about, but they were pretty brief about it. Could someone explain to me why Ushi has triple quick down right now? There's no way she's gonna live for these to wear off. But I want to use all of her buffs with Caesar's buffs and try to get some damage here, so I hope she lives. Man, maybe I should put that on Caesar, I don't know. I'm just hoping Caesar can face tank if he gets hit by it, or he just doesn't get hit by it, but I think Caesar will die. I might actually lose this, especially because my back row is such a shit show. Mother! You stupid unicorn! Of course he NP Caesar and then attacks him again. He was so happy to debuff before, but oh no, now he's gotta be like that. What a piece of work, man. Well, we just got wrecked. We just got so wrecked. I know it's not a unicorn. I am insulting it. That's like, you know, you're fighting like, I don't know, you or something, and you NPs and kills your whole front row, right? You're like, you bitch, right? And then someone's like, excuse you, that is not a female dog. And I was like, oh, pardon me, I didn't know. Well, I think we're fucked. I mean, Fergus had like no health, no NP, and then he was gonna die pretty soon. And even if I won, I would not have been happy with that setup. Alright, we got it this time. I gotta get this peaceful music though. Alright, this should do the trick. We got some decent CEs. We don't have a lot of like standard ones, but we've got, you know, we got starting NP, we got you know, got anti-berserker, anti-caster, we got some good stuff. These casters are literally here to help you. They're literally here to help you. They're there to give you NP gain.
はい
いいだろう
ほう
I like how we lost to this thing. Although Hercules would have won, obviously, but we don't want to rely on Hercules. Anyway, we beat all those other bosses in one try. And then we lose to a fucking unicorn.
ほう
いいだろう
面倒
行くか
ほう
いいだろう
面
Damn it, I'm trying to get them to do it again. They both make the same sound, but I can't get them to do it.
行くか
God damn it. You ruined it.
はいいいでしょ
Also, rip NP gain.
ほっ
Why would I start an NA account? Like, someone in chat give me one good reason why if I'm making an account like this, it's for gameplay, and it's obviously I already have a bunch of other accounts. Why would I make an NA one? Like, what the fuck would I do that for? Like, there's literally 2 years worth of less story, right? And then there's less units, and then there's no command code. Like, why would I do that? Like, if you're making an account for strictly gameplay purposes and like playing through the game again, there's no reason to do an A. There's literally none. Like, if you were playing through the game again, like, hey, I'm gonna read the story again and get to do the gameplay with the story again, then maybe. But we're not doing that. Like, I'm just wanting to play through the game again on a different account and do the boss fights again. And guess which one's got more boss fights, chat? I don't see Zeet over there on an A.
いいだろう
面倒
Like, I don't care what language the game is in. It makes no difference to me because I know what everything says anyway. I know what all the CEs do. I know what all the units do. I already have an NA account. I already have a JP account. And so if I'm playing for gameplay purposes, JP is objectively better. Like, this is not a subjective thing. If you don't care about understanding the language, because I know what the menus say, right? I'm not in the menus like, oh god, where do I go? Oh no, room blind. How do I summon things? Like, I don't read the text on NA either because I got everything memorized. So like, it doesn't matter. And so from a purely gameplay perspective, I mean, JP is just better. Like, there's nothing subjective about it. It's just better.
ほう
And I'm not trying to hate on NA right now, because like I said, you know, if you're wanting to read things and all that, then you know, sure, play NA. There's nothing wrong with NA, but you know, like, think about it from somebody that's like really obsessed with the game, right? Like I think I can say with some certainty, I'm kind of I kind of know FGO, right? I know this game. I play it a lot, right? I have a whole YouTube channel dedicated to the game, right? There's no level of where I don't understand something, right? When something gets added, I know what's going on. I'm up to snuff, right? And I look at this game backwards and forwards. So somebody that's like really into this game and is like trying to master the game, if you will, or like, you know, tries to enjoy the game or whatever, you know, and you play both versions, obviously I'm going to care about JP more. Right, because the when they make a new story, like when, let's say when they pump out a new story, right, and they put it out in English on NA, there's nothing, I can still read it, right? Just because I spend like 90% of my time on JP doesn't mean when they put out Lost Belt 3 for NA, it's not like, oh god, I can't read this, right? No, I still can, you know, I have an account over there, but like, if the only unique thing about NA is that the text is in English, right? And 99% of the time, I don't care about that. That's only relevant when there's a new story, right? It's literally only relevant when there's a new story. But like everything else, like when you're doing, you know, gameplay, solos, making videos, fighting boss fights, you know, all that stuff, it's always better on JP because they always have the latest quality of life stuff. They always have the latest story. They always have the latest challenge quests. They always have the latest CEs, they always have the latest units, so it's the newest version of the game, it's the current version of the game. And if you're super obsessed with the game, you obviously want to play the most current version of the game. Like, if the whole point is like, hey, let's make an account and like show playing through the game and fight all the boss fights again, why would I play the version that's missing half the boss fights? It doesn't make any sense.
や
Because I get it. A lot of people want to enjoy the story and read it. That makes total sense to me. Nothing wrong with that. And I do that too. I read the story, but you know, you only do that for a small percentage of the game. And you know, when it's relevant, I go to NA and I read it. And then I come back over here and I do gameplay stuff. And I would you know, like, let's say you're somebody that you only got so much time, right? You only got so much time, or only so much will, right? So maybe you have the time to play 2 accounts, or 3 accounts, or whatever. But you know, I'd say most people 2 accounts is about as far as they're gonna want to go. But anyway, let's say you have the time to play 2 accounts, but you don't have the will. You don't care to. You just want to have the 1 account that you put the effort into and you farm on, right? And then you want that to be the account that you also read the story on, right? That makes sense. And that's totally logical. You know, say, okay, I'm just gonna play the 1 account. I'm gonna put all, you know, whenever I have free time for FGO, I'm gonna put it into this 1 account so I can take this account as far as possible. And then when the story comes out, I want to be able to read the story, so I'm gonna play NA, right? Makes total sense. I'm not in that camp though. You know, I do generally play 2 accounts actively. And, you know, new story doesn't come out that often, so I mostly play JP. And you gotta remember, I was playing JP before NA even existed, right? I was more into FGO than most people in chat, you know, before NA even existed, right? By the time NA came out, I'd already been playing the game for a long time. I'd already made a bunch of YouTube videos. I was already really into it, and you know, I'd already liked Fate long before FGO, right? So I was already really invested in that, my main account. My favorite account is my main account, obviously. But when I make a new account, it's just like a side thing for funsies, right? But then if it's for funsies, it's just for gameplay. And if it's just for gameplay, it's gonna be JP. Like, I literally don't see a single reason why, if you're playing an account for gameplay purposes, why the fuck would you ever not play JP? Unless you're new, right? Maybe you're new and like you don't know how to navigate the menus, and you don't know what the CEs do, right? And you don't know how to open a fucking wiki. Or you don't want to open a wiki, I guess that's the thing too. I mean, if you play NA or JP, you're gonna have missed a bunch of welfares either way. Or same for Korea, or the Chinese version. Any version of the game, whenever you join it, you've missed everything in the past, right? But they can randomly bring any of that stuff back at any time, right? They could bring back Rider. If they ever bring back Rider Kentucky for a 3rd time, guess who's getting it first? It's JP, right? That's a big part of why I'm making this account. People are always acting like there's a problem starting JP late, which is stupid, because the amount of content you're missing on JP is the same as the amount of content you're gonna miss on NA, right? It doesn't matter. Like the CEs you've missed, you've missed the same number of CEs on NA as JP. They're just different CEs, so it doesn't matter. And then anytime, if they ever bring those missed things back, they're gonna come back to JP first. And any new thing comes to JP first, right? They just added a welfare on JP, right? And so you can get that if you start playing the game, where you're not gonna have that if you play NA for 2 years, right? That's always been such a bad argument, because it's really short-sighted, and it discounts all the new things that you're gonna get, right? I care way more about the latest and greatest than, oh no, I missed some old welfare I don't give a fuck about. And like, yeah, sure, I like Rider Kentucky, but you're gonna miss Rider Kentucky on NA or JP. You know, he's gone from both versions. And again, if they ever do add him back, it'll be on JP. Because if they do like a main interlude, because they do main interludes now. Like right now, you can go to the Rare Prism shop and you can buy the event for what's her name, Santa Attila, excuse me, you know, the Christmas event. And they're going to do those from time to time. And if they ever do the Rider Kentucky one, where you can buy it from the Rare Prism shop, it's going to be on JP, not NA. The salt is kind of amazing right now. I like how, like, you know, if you want to put an argument for like what I'm. People are taking this like personal, right? Like I'm attacking NA. I'm not attacking NA. It's just a game. It's text. Whoop-de-doo, right? And if you think an argument I'm making is wrong, then explain, right? As far as I'm concerned, what I'm saying is like accurate. Oh yeah, clairvoyant. See, that's a good reason. That's a good reason. That's a legit reason someone might want to enjoy playing NA, because it is nice to know what's coming down the pipeline. Where on JP, you know, you have no idea what's getting added tomorrow. You have no idea. Where on NA, you can save up for, you know, several years and stuff. That's irrelevant to me because, you know, my main account already has like fuckload of units that that I like, and like a new account like this, I wouldn't be saving up on anyway. But yeah, that's a reason I see people bring up from time to time, where they just enjoy having clairvoyance, and that makes sense to me. But again, I have an NA account, so if I wanted to take advantage of that, I still could. Because yeah, it is really nice when you can basically plan it out, right? You can be like, okay, so this is going to get rated up, and then that'll give me enough time to save up for this other thing. You know, that is really nice. But that's super irrelevant to an ult account like this. Like, if I'm making an ult account focused on, you know, doing boss fights again, that just, that don't matter at all. So, I should summon Liz if we're going to stick with story supports, but I'm not going to. I really don't have a lot I can do for Ku in terms of support. Dude, I am so hungry right now. I need to eat something. I guess we'll use Ushi as a cleanup just because if I have to use something at neutral, she's a pretty good option. I'm assuming this is a boss, so anti-humanoid will work. Could do that, nah. Alright. Hopefully Ku's enough to just deal with this. Yeah, right now you can play one ult event. And it's not a particularly popular one, but as time goes on, hopefully they'll add other ones. I'm gonna BRB 1 second, guys. I'm gonna grab water, and I need to grab like a snack or something. I'm super hungry. Alright, I'm back. Sorry that took so long. Alright, let's see here. Okay, this actually might just be a trash stage, in which case, I'm kind of disappointed. Man, my earbuds are like dying. I'm gonna have to replace them. What's your favorite food? Kimchi. If it's made well. Kimchi is amazing. And then this is so random, but it's just the truth. I'm not gonna lie to you, chap. My second favorite food is just raw lemon. It's amazing. Dude, they're amazing. They're so flavorful. And I like sour stuff. So, dude, when I was a kid, we were at like a restaurant, and you know, they give you, you know, lemons with water or on a side dish or something. And I didn't know what it was, so I just ate it, right? And I ate the rind, the peel, and everyone looked at me like I was insane. And I was just eating like, oh, this tastes good. You know, this is sour, I like it. And everyone looked at me like I was insane. And to this day, I don't understand why, because it tastes good. And it's good for you. The peel is good for you. The peel is healthy. It tastes fine. There's nothing wrong with it. And everyone acts like, no, my teeth are fine. I take really good care of my teeth. I've actually never had a cavity in my entire life. And I was literally just, I just had them x-rayed. There's a lot of, if you like lemons, there's a lot of things you can do to protect your teeth from the acid and stuff. Also, I love lemon, but I'm not like, I don't sit around just eating lemons all the time, because that's not practical. But on special occasions, I do. Yeah, I jump through hoops to make sure I don't wreck my teeth with lemons. Most peels of fruits are edible. Just most people don't like the taste. Like the green part of a strawberry, that's edible too, and I eat those as well because it doesn't taste bad and it's good for you. So, it's like, why not? There are some peels that are not edible, but or shouldn't be edible. But yeah, I've often been called a weirdo because I like lemons, but I mean, I like them, so it is what it is. Wow. Well, hopefully this isn't a proper boss fight or we're in a bit of trouble. I always like the people, though, that get offended by my opinions. Because I'm pretty abrasive about them, but I don't think someone being abrasive about their opinion which means you should be offended, right? I'm not gonna apologize because I think something. If someone wants to disagree with me, that's great. But I say that all the time. Where basically I say something that somebody doesn't like, and instead of them... It's one thing to say I don't like that opinion, which is fine. But instead of like trying to say why, or actually giving a... giving a counterpoint, they're just like, wow! Right? It's just silly. I have a feeling I know what that is, Rex. Because they're all the time, and y'all seen it. You've seen it. I'll see somebody take a bad take that I don't like. You know what I do is I explain why I don't think that's a good opinion. I don't cry about it. That's what children do. And for real, I am abrasive. I'm a very abrasive guy. That's just how I am. And I get why some people don't like that, and that's fine. But that doesn't make my opinion wrong, and it doesn't make my opinion right either, but... Also, I like how we did all that stuff, and yeah, we just insta-killed them, so it didn't matter. Potatoes are great. I love potatoes, and I eat the skins off those too. Again, tastes good, and it's good for you, so... Honestly, a lot of people, and I think FGO just kind of attracts this mindset to a degree. I don't mean everybody in FGO is like this. I just think there's a percentage of people that are attracted to the game like this, that they get a lot of like emotions mixed in with opinions and stuff, and it's kind of stupid. You know, somebody can say, I really don't like Ku, and I don't care, right? Because I like Ku, and if they don't like him, that's fine. It's just character, right? It's not a big deal. And for example, Jekyll and Hyde is, I'm not exaggerating, one of my favorite Fate characters. He's like in my top 10. He's awesome, but he's also trash, gameplay-wise. And someone saying Jekyll and Hyde is trash does not offend me, right? Again, because I'm not a 5-year-old, and you know, it is what it is. And if I actually thought Jekyll and Hyde was not trash, I would just argue why I think he's not trash, right? There's a lot of characters that I really, really like that are very bad in this game. And I'll argue why I like them and why I like their characters, or maybe their art or their voice acting or whatever. But I'm not going to argue that they're good just because I like them. That's stupid. And and let's say I have an unpopular opinion, right? Like there's a character that most people think is bad and I think they're good. And I've had that opinion in the past, right? And what I do is I just argue the point. I mean, that's all that matters. Like for a long time, people thought Siegfried, after Siegfried's second buff, a lot of people, at least on NA, still thought he was bad, and that was such a hot topic for a long time. I remember. And I was in the unpopular camp that no, he's fine. He's not the best 4-star in the game, but he's totally fine and quite usable, right? I remember I was in that camp, and I would just explain why, and I would just go over, you know, why, you know, he's effective and why it's easy to work with St. George and blah, 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 blah. And it's kind of funny now because now it's pretty universally accepted that Siegfried's a pretty solid 4-star. But he hasn't changed. He hasn't changed at all. Like, they haven't buffed him since then. At the end of the day, it doesn't even matter, right? It's a fucking game, man. Like, and I don't mean that to like insult anyone that takes it seriously. You know, I make YouTube videos and everything, right? I put a lot of effort into it. But it's like, it's a game, so you can play it how you want. If you're like, you know what, I don't enjoy JP, you could literally agree with everything I just said about FGO JP, and be like, but I still don't enjoy it, right? Because I like being able to read the text. You know, I like having the other players be other English players. You know, if I'm hanging out on Discord or something, most of the other people are going to be playing the NA version. You know, I like clairvoyance. That's fair, right? That's a totally reasonable reason to be playing, right? Because at the end of the day, you play for the reasons you want to play. But like what I was explaining earlier, and I think this is pretty fair, it's like, again, I take this game pretty seriously. I know this game really well. Not to brag, but I know FGO extremely well, right? I understand this game very well. I've been playing it for a very long time. And I have many accounts, and the reason I have so many accounts is so I can play different things in different ways and show off old content, new content, you know, show things from a free-to-play perspective or a veteran account perspective. I can kind of, mix it up, right? And I got my 1 to 3 star account that uses just the 3-star CEs because I fucking hate myself, that kind of thing. And so from my perspective, with what I value and what I'm doing and like what, putting content out there, of course I'm a new JP. Like from a content creating perspective, if you're playing an account just to show off, go through the story again, just another account for funsies, there's just no reason to play NA. There just is none. There's not any, unless you struggle with understanding the JP server, which I do not, right? I don't struggle to do that. And like I'm making an account, this account exists for content, right? This exists to be streamed or to make YouTube videos, right? That's the whole purpose of this account. And I understand both versions of the game perfectly. So there's no point. Like, yeah, let me just stop after Lost Belt 2 because nothing else exists on NA, right? Why would I do that? Yeah, I know, Rex. I actually do need to wrap up because I started so late. But let's beat Karna here. Shin is kind of the greatest thing added in FGO history. I kind of agree. Like he just did so. In one moment, they just accomplished so many things, right? They added a budget DPS caster. They added a budget buster support with a berserker bonus. They added a really unique unit that lets you yeet story support, or just cycle buffers, right? You can do the whole, waiver, then you get rid of waiver, bring in Merlin, and maybe as poster girl, then you switch Mystico, bring in Nero Bride. You can do shit like that. Or they don't have to be such over-the-top supports. It can be budget supports too, right? It just a lot of options. Just so one unit, everybody gets them. That's the thing, everybody gets them. He's a 2-star FP summon. Everybody gets to play with the new toy, and he just gets to do so many crazy things. Like it's great. All right, let's just get Rama's NP, and I think we'll be good to go here. I mean, I'll do Irisville versus the tree whenever we actually get to the tree again. Whichever account gets there first. I like how, though, we decided to do Epic of Remnant first, which just means it's going to take forever to get there, right? Like, this account would have a much easier time getting to Lost Belt 3. Or through Lost Belt 3, because I'm not handicapping myself like a motherfucker over here, right? The only handicap is, like, no Waver and Merlin, right? That's pretty much the only handicap. And, I'm still gonna, kind of keep things tame, because I just like playing the game that way, and use units that I like, because I like playing the game that way. So, yeah, I am handicapping myself in a way, but in a pretty natural, normal way, if you will. At least normal for me. So this account really wouldn't have a hard time getting through Lost Belt 3. But we're not going straight to the Lost Belts. We're going to Epic Remnant first. And then the other account, which is in Lost Belt 3 right now, where, I asked chat and we decided to go to the Lost Belts before Epic of Remnant. So we're already in Lost Belt 3, but that one is this stupid piece of shit, I'm gonna just handicap myself to the moon account that, breathing is a struggle. And I also don't really farm on, so it's like the least prepared account for that ever, and it's struggling. Getting through the game on that account is a tough experience. It shows though how broken supports are. If I literally just changed it where that account could just summon any support that pops up, I'd breeze through everything, right? The thing that makes it hard is the fact that the support that we summon through the friend system also has to be a 3-star that's not grailed, and then is using a 3-star CE or a 2-star CE. But I mean, I think we've used a 2-star CE like, I don't know, once or twice. Like, that really hasn't been a thing. But yeah, the support being fucked has made it a lot harder. Because supports can just carry the shit out of you against almost everything. The Rex was type Earth all along, obviously. Dude, I'm telling you, one of the proudest things I've ever done in this game is just that fucking Horse Bindo landling fight, dude, with those restrictions. That was just so hard. That was so hard, and I've seen the other clears of that. Like, that was like the most handicapped anyone's ever been for that boss fight. That was stupid. That was so stupid. We were stuck on that for so long too. Like that was. It took a while to figure it out. And I like how the second we changed the team comp, we won though. That's how it was for Lantoria back when we were like we had nothing and we had like no units. And we just made that one change where we switched Bedivere and Caesar around, and then we did it in one try. Ushi's been a huge carry on like every account, really. Like, out of all the accounts, Ushi is always a super helpful unit. Come on, get him! Get him! Like, I can't wait to have, damn it, I can't wait to have Caesar's upgraded NP. It's just so good. Yeah, Bedivere's the big thing that makes, I think, Ushi sometimes a better carry than Bedivere. I mean, it depends. I mean, there are absolutely times Bedivere is better, but it's just the fact that Ushi has hard survival. You know, it's so simple, but it's like She's got damage, a little bit of utility, hard-hitting NP, and then has a survival skill that can tank an NP on her own. Where Bedivere needs help to tank an NP. Unless it's like an AoE NP that he's counterclassing, right? And then with his defense up and his counterclass and the lower AoE damage, you know, then he can face tank one. But that's not nearly as good as having an evade. Like, not at all. Also, Karna's NP is so cool, dude. Used Herc. Bullshit! Bullshit! Like, that's happened so many times this run, though. Invalid. Okay, chat. Do we greenlight Hercules use, like actual Hercules use? Do we greenlight that in Camelot or Babylon? I'm gonna leave it up to chat. I know chat's just gonna be a shithead about it, but wow, that's actually a lot of Camelot. It's pretty split. That's pretty split. Oh, someone made a poll. Oh boy. I mean, I'll say this. If we greenlight him in Camelot, I still won't use him that much. I'll use him when he's, you know, very applicable. I'm not gonna, like, throw him at every boss, because it's no fun. Okay, Camelot's winning. I feel like that's fine, because that's when the game gets a lot harder, and by that point most people will have some units maxed and that kind of thing. But I'll probably go easy on him. And I don't know, maybe I'll do it without him anyway, just because I want to. We'll see. But I'll definitely use him in Babylon. That just makes sense. That's kind of right, Rex. You are kind of right about that. Things are mostly. I would say Camelot is mostly scaled for like level to 60 to 70 units. That's kind of obvious by their stats and stuff. That is fairly true. We'll see. We'll see. Alright, boys. Let's raid somebody. Let's spread the love. And by that I mean you're all gonna spam emotes in their chat and then get shot. I mean, what? Who we got playing FGO today? Not a lot of people. Actually, there's a lot of people, but a lot of smaller ones. So yeah, we'll raid somebody new. Give them a boost. Okay, this guy's fighting Anastasia right now and lost about 1. That's a good time. Alright, boys, thanks a whole lot for hanging out. It was a shorter stream, but, you know, I started late. I'll try to make up for it tomorrow. But you guys have a good one, and I will catch y'all later.